Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Beats and Vows right here on Beat District Ready. Yo, it's your boy DJ Phat Mack. You already know what it is. Right here on Beats and Vows, we talk about everything that has to do with weddings, an event specialist, private event field, whatever the case may be. But with Beats and Vows, we're talking about love, we're talking about life, we're talking about music, we're talking about everything underneath the sun, and we get a chance to talk to some excellent and awesome professionals right here in the wedding field, especially in the St. Louis, Missouri market. And today I have one of my favorites, especially when it comes to decor. I have Alexis Golden. Everybody make some noise. Woo! See, we got everybody clapping for you and everything.
Everybody.
So even though she go by Alexis, I'm gonna be calling her Lexi for the most point. Is that okay?
Thank you. That's okay. My name is actually Alexius.
It's Alexis.
Yeah, it's Alexius.
Look here, you learn something new every day, people.
But Lexi is good. That's what everybody calls
Okay,
me.
we go Alexi for sure.
Yeah.
Alexius.
Yeah.
Sounds like a cartoon character.
I know.
Not even. No, I take that back. Not a cartoon character, like a superhero.
Oh wow, that's great.
Like a She-Ra.
I'll take it.
Like
Yeah.
a type of joint.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Alexius.
Yes.
Don't come across the wrath of Alexius. She will dominate and destroy you.
Hilarious. Only if you knew that my name means defender of mankind.
Get
so
out it.
I
See?
am not lying.
Once again,
Right.
I've been proven corrected and right at
Right.
the same time.
Right.
I knew it. Look, I knew it had something to do with the Guardians of the
Exactly.
Galaxies or something.
Yeah.
So Lexi, once again, we're talking about weddings and event fields and
Yes.
things like that. So tell everybody, what all do you do in a beautiful wedding field?
Yeah, we do a lot. So, me and my husband Josh.
Shout out to Josh.
Yeah,
by the
shout
way.
out to Josh. We have been doing events since 2011. Josh actually started before me. His dad owned, he still owns it actually, an event space. He's been owning that for so long. You know when they used to call them banquet halls? Like, yes.
Banquet halls. It was not event spaces, it was
it's a banquet
halls.
hall. Yes.
You was fancy if you was getting married at the banquet hall, not the VFW, but the banquet hall.
The banquet hall. So Josh started before me in the event industry, and when we got together, we started doing events together, and once we got married, it just exploded. So we kind of started off with managing his dad's space and another space that we still manage. Our company still manages, the Ann McDonald in Florissant. That's how we met you.
Yes.
Yeah, you was a DJ, and Josh told me, he was like, I met this cold DJ, because we're in the event industry, we kind of understand all vendors.
Mm-hmm.
So we know what a DJ is his setup's supposed to sound like, look like. You came like correct, and that's why I always love you, recommend you, because I know that you're gonna over deliver and the clients are gonna have a great time. So my favorite DJ.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Best dressed DJ. Best dressed. But we basically started managing those, and we would do decor and stuff there, and we would meet clients who's like, I'm not sold on the venue, but I'm sold on this decor. And so we had started to do decor outside of the venue, but it was still kind of under the venue, Golden Decor venue. And so in 22, we started to get more luxury, high budgeted clients.
Okay.
And so we knew we were working out of storage units. We had we literally almost had owned half the storage unit on West Florissant.
Oh my goodness.
We just kept having to get more and more storage units. And then it just came to me like, we need a warehouse, and this was not even fathomable in the market that I was in, being African American,
right,
with a decor company. Like, I didn't know anybody that had warehouses. So we end up getting a warehouse in Earth City, and basically it's just been going amazing from there. We now have Cheerlux. That's our branch that we branched off from Golden Decor. So we have Cheerlux where we do high-end luxury rentals. We go all over. We're setting up just all over St. Louis and Illinois. We're even traveling as far as Kansas City.
Nice.
Yeah, we're expanding. So, it blew up. We were just surprised.
So where do you think, where was your humble beginnings? Where did that start from? What, to get to the point where we got Chair Lux and we got Golden Decor,
Venue 827.
827, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it started up with, I would really give credit to Josh because, again, this is his family's business. This is like his thing where he started helping his dad when he was younger. And then Josh, what he ended up doing was one event. So his dad, his old school, okay? So he would have, you remember cheer covers? Some people still use them.
People still, and
I don't recommend. But
I just, as a DJ, I just look, I'm like, I'm not helping out with
right?
this.
The sashes.
I would light a candle before. Right. I'll take them off.
Right.
If I got enough time in my evening, I'll take them off.
Yeah.
But putting them on.
But even the prep work with the old school chair covers, because that's what his dad had, the polyester kind or the satin kind, you would have to literally steam them, wash them, steam them.
No.
400 chair covers.
Nope.
Put them on.
Nope.
And so Josh, Josh has always had a mind like of innovation, right? Of like, okay, what is the cutting edge thing? Where are we going for the future? How can we make this more efficient, right? And so he ended up investing in stretch chair covers. This is when they first hit the market. He invested in stretch chair covers. So his dad had a client that wanted chair covers, and he was like, Dad, let me like just rent my chair covers to this client. His dad gave him that opportunity, and it's been going from there. Like, so that's how we started. We started off with chair covers. And the awesome thing about it is that what happened was we started charging $3 for chair covers, right?
Okay.
Chair covers used to be like $1.
Gotcha.
$1 per chair. And so we charged $3 per chair.
As you should.
Because we knew that they looked better.
Yeah.
They were something in the market that a lot of people didn't have at the time. And it was just, we knew that we could bring something that other people couldn't bring. So we just started to see if I could get one, it would take 3 clients for the person charging $1 to my one client and me charging them $3. So we always looked at it like, I want to do less work, but make equal or more money. So that's just how it started.
and that's a lot of people's business model. That's one of the business model that I'm going towards, right? Even though my price might be, it depends, kind of that medium to luxury. Depends on the price bracket.
Luxury.
It might still be luxury, right? But at the same time, I know I ain't gonna get everybody.
Right, exactly.
And I'm okay.
You're okay with that.
I'm totally okay.
Especially at our age.
Right.
I'm getting older. I don't need to have 1,000 clients.
Right.
Because my, things are changing in my life. And it's like, I want to see how I can work less, but make equal or more money. So you have to, and I think with you and us, that's why we mesh so well together, is because it's not just about the product, it's also about the service.
Come on now.
So we have excellent service. Like, we care about how we dress. We care about how we look. That's why when you saw me the other day setting up, I hurried up and got out of there.
You was like, I don't want nobody to see me
I don't want nobody
like
to see
this.
me at this wedding. So I hurried up and got out of there because I don't do that. Even my staff, like when they come, I'm like, okay, you got to wear this. You got to be uniform. You got to look a certain way. So it's not just about the product. It's also about the service. It's also about, how we're handling our client before they even contact us. Like, our website has to be excellent. Our email has to be professional. No Gmail, no trilux at gmail.com. Like, come on.
Gotta be that .com joint.
Come on. Like, get a professional email. Like, Google is like nothing. And so I just think that for us, we can charge what we're charging because we know that we're going to stand out from an oversaturated market.
Yes.
And so we don't want to feel like, like, I'm giving you this great service, I'm giving you all of this, but I'm losing money because I'm not charging accordingly to what it's really costing me to run this excellent business. So that's important.
Yeah, because even though we're here for service, we're here for business at the same time.
Of course.
Right? So everything has to line up, right?
Right, exactly.
If you're bringing, like you guys do, bringing that excellent service and continuing looking out for not only your clients, but you're looking out for your vendors,
my staff,
your staff, all that takes into account for sure, right?
Yeah.
I know one thing that stood out for you guys, and this is before Venue 827. Once again, we're going back you know, we have to take it back in the day,
Yeah.
you know, and McDonald, like we talking about 20 years ago. We talking about like maybe 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Before COVID, we
Right.
could tell you that. Put it this way.
Like
BC,
8,
right?
probably like 8, 9.
Yeah, about 9
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
BC, before COVID.
Right.
All right, we know
That's
that
true.
for sure. The fact of the cold sparks, the
Oh,
dancing on the cloud, and the thing, the pin spot where y'all had the monogram, you know,
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially you had your own.
Yeah.
The chairs. I think that's what it was. That's what I really raved about people to that. I'm like, yo, y'all might want to get them because these chairs and no chair covers. What do they call them? I'm not a decor person.
Right.
I'm a DJ.
Right.
So they call them the clear chairs.
Those, the ones you're talking about that was at the McDonald that we introduced to the market was Shivari chair. Now Shivari chair is old.
Yes.
That's old.
Yeah,
that's like from early 18. You could probably find that back at Civil War time, a Shivari chair.
But nobody uses them though.
Exactly. So when the chair cover market came out, which people just like, you know, you just do what is normal.
Yes.
You do what, not necessarily what's easy, but just what normal. And so I even remember when we got the Shivari chairs, we literally had to pry chair covers out of the minds of our clients. So we like had to tell them because the market was not ready for that. Our market in St. Louis was not ready for that.
We're going to talk about that in a second too.
Oh my
Go
gosh.
ahead.
So we had to tell them literally like, okay, if you want us to do chair covers, we're going to charge you $1 extra to do chair covers. Now, do you want the free chairs or do you want the chair covers? Because we knew that it was way easier on our staff. It took less time for us to set up and break
And you
down.
already got them.
Like, come on. And
All it is stacking.
And it was like that with a lot of different things because we're very like forward thinkers. Like we look at events out of the country. Like we're watching people's events like all over the world. And so we're like, okay, what can we bring to the market? That's why we started Cheerlux. And it was like, what can we bring to the market that our market does not have? But what I found in St. Louis is that it takes a lot to convince people to change, to accept what is like, this is moving forward. And it takes a lot to get them to accept that. So that's always been kind of like us. We are forward thinkers, we're innovators, we're industry leaders, but it's challenging at times to get people to jump on board with that.
Yeah.
So that can be a problem in your business because you can have products sitting there for a long time that people don't get, and then 2 years later, people are now like on board, and you're like, I'm ready to move on to the next thing.
Right. And it's terrible because St. Louis has been that way for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Even though I'm not from here, but I see it,
Well,
right?
you're
I'm pretty.
Yeah.
People say like, bro, you from Chicago? You from here at this point? You've been.
It's been so long.
Even though I love my city to death, I love Chicago to death. But when they put it in the aspect, there's like you realize you've been living here longer than you. I was like, dang, right?
You from St. Louis now?
I guess I'm from St. Louis. Okay,
Native.
cool. I'm a native, right? Chicago is my home. You know,
Right.
St. Louis is my backyard, as I say.
Right.
But end of the day, we are not as forward thinkers as a whole,
Yeah.
right? And I'm the same way. I look at what's going on the East Coast, what's going on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Like far as what is DJs doing, what are luxury, DJ brands and companies, what they're doing out there. And then, try to bring them to this market. Even when it comes to music,
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Right.
So I can imagine what you're saying with that is like, y'all still focus on chair covers? This is wild.
I mean, literally had to say, I'm gonna charge you more to give you a chair
Yes,
cover,
it's
and
crazy.
people would do it. They would pay for it, and
That
I
is
was
crazy.
like, this is nuts.
So what kind of, since you really couldn't focus on a lot here, well, take a step back before I go to that. Is there any that you consider like a mentor or that's in the St. Louis market or that you look at, or you just look, don't be afraid if you don't, because my mentors like in the DJ market is not here either. So
so I would consider, so let me tell you like kind of we started back in 2011. 2011 is a long time from 2025, okay?
Yeah.
Like it feels like that was ancient years ago. And it wasn't really that long ago. It was under 14 years ago. But basically when we started, there were no workshops. There was one workshop that I remember, Preston Bailey. He's like this world-renowned florist. I wanted to go to his workshop, but it was thousands of dollars. Like, I mean, the man was charging like thousands of dollars that I didn't have at the time. And so he was like really the only one that I knew that had like workshops, design workshops. And now, you know, the market is oversaturated with that. I do workshops, like everybody does a workshop. But at the time we didn't have anything. And so me and Josh literally had to teach ourselves. We are self-taught.
Wow.
Like we didn't have anybody in the market that was willing to share things with us. So it wasn't back then, you know, now this is a culture of information. We are sharing information. It's more YouTube. People are more on YouTube doing things, TikTok. We got all this stuff. But back then we did not have any of that. So me and Josh had to do a lot of praying. We had to do a lot of begging God to help us, and just really rely on each other to just say, okay, can you help me with this? Do you see something? Like I would show him my flower arrangements, like, where do you think I can improve on this? He was my eyes, you know?
Yeah.
And so I really, unfortunately, there are some great people and creative people in St. Louis that I feel like don't get the credit, and especially in certain markets, certain industries, meaning certain like luxury industries in St. Louis that I don't believe get a lot of credit or opportunity. But no, there was no mentors that we had. There was no one here that we kind of looked up to and felt like, you know, they're helping us, or they are people we aspire to be. You know, me and Josh have always stayed in our own lane. A lot of people didn't know us. They knew like the brand. They knew Ann McDonald Center, they knew Golden Decor, but they didn't know that Josh and I owned it. And I recently, like a few years ago, I opened up my Facebook page because it used to be private. And I started to get all these friend requests and all these people. And I was like, because I was very like, I don't want everybody knowing me, talking to me. And I opened my page up, and that's how people started to get to know me and Josh. But at first people didn't even know he was the owner. Like he would do all the client meetings and stuff, and they didn't even know he was the owner.
I mean, even at the wedding I just did at Venue 827, I'm literally pointing out. I was like, "You like this space?" You know, I'm just kind of, this is real nice. Yeah. Like, you know, it's black owned. What? Yeah. Matter of fact, owner's right over the guy taking pictures.
Exactly.
That's him. Him and his wife.
Yeah.
It was like, what? Yeah. So they always think that is like so impressive, which I think.
Yeah, and I think it's just too that we are kind of more humble people. Like we're not really flashy in the sense, like we're not trying to like get on, you know, we don't get on social media and just kind of boast about all of the things we have or that we're doing. You know, our main, I know that comes from our belief in God, you know, how we, you know, believe that we're supposed to present ourselves as Christians, but also it's just not our personality. It's not really like, we don't want to put that attention on us like that. We just want to do great work. We just want to be known in the market as like, you know, a great company. So we don't want to really make it about just us, you know.
So with that being said, how do you put the name out there? How do you put your branding out there? What are some of the things that you've been doing as of lately to get to the point where I can open up a warehouse, I can open up a Venue 827? What are you doing, or what have you done to put your name out there? When I say your name, your brand.
Yeah. So basically, social media is a great resource. We don't pay for any advertising or marketing. We haven't done it for years. We put our hand to it slightly, like we did. I think it was the Knot Wedding Wire. We didn't get a lot of, no, I'm sorry, but that was not for us. So after a year, we stopped that. We did. I think we did some Facebook ads before. And then our account got hacked. So we were like, we got to kind of think this. But we find a lot of our clients through word of mouth and through Google, because we have locations. Google's it's huge. And I think it's underrated of free marketing that you can get, free advertising. But they do have Google ads that I have been considering, but just for years, we've gotten free, like, because on our website, we ask when people submit form requests, how did you hear about us? And, you know, Google is a big one.
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook is another big one. And these are all free resources.
All free.
I mean, this is
It's
how
the
people,
same way.
and people, oh, another thing is shout out to all of the planners who have entrusted us, who literally have, when we opened Cheerlugs, we were going into a different market that we have never been in. So we were normally kind of doing just the venue, you know, in a certain budgeted market or whatever. And so when we started Cheerlugs, we knew that we wanted to target luxury weddings. We wanted to be at the Ritz, we wanted to be at the Chase, we wanted to be in these high-end event spaces and events. And so that's why we opened Cheerlugs, and we invited, and our focus was trying to reach out to planners to help us kind of gain that market. And I'm telling you, there are people that just took a chance on us, and we went above and beyond for them, and we still do. And so I'm just shout out to all of them. Like, I'm so grateful for these people that just, you know, because you don't know us. Like, to you, we've been in the industry for a long time, but to them, we were new.
Right.
And it's like, you're dealing with 6-figure weddings sometimes. And it's like, I don't know you and if you're going to come through, but I'm just grateful that these people, like, literally took a chance on us, and they're still, like, loving us and showing us love and booking us and being loyal to us.
So we said this word a couple of different times. Luxury. What do we consider something luxury or a high end, especially when it comes to weddings? What is, in a sense, is the criteria? I know, like, some couples like, hey, I want a luxury wedding, or, you know, they may have some vendors out there that's like, I want to be in the luxury branding. What is that considered for you?
So nowadays, luxury is very overused. So
it is.
It is.
Right.
Everybody say everything is luxury, and it's not luxury. So I think luxury is exclusivity. I think it is something that is comes with, like we talked about before, it's not just a product, it's also the service. So luxury is to me, luxury is it's the entirety of a thing. It's the way you make me feel from first touch when I first reach out to your company. It's how you make me feel at, you know, before the event, during the event, and even after the event. That's luxury to me. So that's what we seek to offer, is a luxury experience, because it's not just all about how much money you're spending on something. It's about the service that you get. You know, if you go to kind of Ruth's Chris versus if you go to Applebee's for a steak, it's gonna be totally different. The product is different, the service is different. And so that's what I believe, that it does come at times with a higher price point, because I mean, I have to be able to supply you with these things, and that comes with my staff. If I have great staff, I'm gonna have to pay them at a certain level to keep them and retain them. So I'm gonna have to charge you. There is a price point to it. But at the same time, I think it's way more than just, oh, I'm charging you $20,000 for, you know, this event. Yeah. It's more than just that. Luxury is, to me, an experience more than it's, you know, everything else.
Yeah. And it's the experience that you said, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, when you said, like, Ruth Chris versus Applebee's, and I'm thinking even we're talking about food, but it's all in the same aspect, right? Because it's this one it's a couple of restaurants that's in Edwardsville that I love going to. They're family-owned businesses, restaurants. They only have one, you know. But when you go in there, you like the experience.
I know.
And it's not even the experience of, like, the atmosphere is cool.
Yeah.
The aesthetics is great and stuff like that. Is everybody in there dressed in tuxes? No. You know, but the cook might come out to you. The owner might come out to you and say what's up, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Like, hey, you want to try this free cheesecake? Hell yeah, I want to try this free cheesecake. You know, and to me, that's almost encompassing of the luxury brand.
Oh,
right?
yeah, because it's about how you make your client feel.
Right.
So at the end of the day, right, it's about the experience. It's about the client experience. It's about and I think that's where a lot of businesses fail. They don't focus on that. All they focus on is trying to have a great product, but you got bad customer service, or you got, you know what I'm saying? You're not really, like, responding to people. I can't never get in contact with you. You know, it's just like, or you're telling me to cash app you and you don't have a contract and you it's just like, I don't have that client experience now, then I feel like you're not giving luxury.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how many Obac cheers or how many Shivari cheers you have, or, it doesn't matter if you're not giving clients that luxury experience.
Yeah. What kind of made you want to get into that field? Like going, it's like, hey, come on, Josh, let's go to this next level. What kind of, what type of prayer in conversations that you and Josh had to say, hey, this is the next step that we want to get to?
It's always been who we are. So me and Josh, even though we don't flaunt, we always like nice things, like Carol House. We like nice things, okay?
I love it.
We
shout out to Carol House. Apparently, Carol House. We do sponsorships.
Come on,
and over here on KBDR, things like that.
Come on. Yeah. And so basically, it's just who we are. It's our personality. So we're the type of people that goes on vacation. We're gonna get the best Airbnb. We're just that type of people. It was always in us. We just had to grow, and the opportunity had to present itself for us to be able to walk through that door. So even when you would come to the Ann McDonald Center, if you know it, you know where it's at, you know what it looks like. But when you walk inside, it's a totally different feel. People will be like, this event is crazy. Like, I did not expect this event to be inside of here. We're not just doing, centerpieces. We're doing lighting. We're doing ambiance in the room. Like, we're trying to create a atmosphere that is romantic and just beautiful. And so it's just always been who we are. And so I just feel like the opportunity presented itself for us to take the leap. It actually happened. Let me tell you how Cheerlux really came about. So COVID hit, right?
Okay.
And threw us off. Like, nobody was expecting that. We were shut down. Our industry, as you know, was shut down. And we have clients who book us like a year or more, sometimes in advance. And so we could not do any events. And but I got COVID did not break us. Thank the Lord. Okay. It did not break us because I got all the unemployment. I got all the PPP loans legally. I got them legally.
Okay. She said legally, by the way. Legally. She has employees, people.
Legit.
It's just not her, and she hired her 5-year-old son.
Legally, I got these. And so, like, literally, it didn't break us, but it made us realize this could not be our only stream, because what we saw was that in Florissant, there was the shutdown order, but in St. Charles, there was not. And not everybody was afraid to have events. Not everybody was afraid to go outside. And we were like, so if we had a venue somewhere else, or we had this warehouse somewhere, other than the Florissant area, we could do business. And so our light bulbs went off. We said, we got to diversify our income. We got to switch it up. We got to open up different things. We wanted to stay in the same market of events because that's what we know, weddings. But we wanted the diversity to say, I'm not depending on just this one venue to produce my income for me, because this is what we've been doing full time since 2014. So it was like, that was just a wake up call for us.
Okay. That's dope. Now, since you're in the decor business and things like that, and now that you have a venue, even with the Ann McDonald, do you have somebody say, hey, we just want to rent out, but we want to bring somebody else in? How does that go?
Yeah, so at first, when the Ann McDonald, we would always say no. And people, people would just go other places, and we were okay with that. But with like when we opened Venue 827, we started to say, because we had so much business with Cheerlux, with the Ann McDonald, we started to say, okay, you can bring in your own decorator, because I kind of don't want to have all these events on one day. Like, literally, Cheerlux can have 5 events in one day. Wow. And then we got an event at the venue, at both venues. So it's like, we kind of like, well, I don't want to stress myself like this. And you got to build to you got to always try to think about scaling your business. So we're working with our team now where we don't have to be so involved, where we can expand and we can scale our business, but that takes time. And so I always told people, we have more business than we have staff. And when I say
wow.
when I say staff, I mean qualified staff. Like
Let it be very clear.
right.
If you're not qualified, don't hit her up
Right.
at all.
We had qualified staff, like people that actually can supervise, manage, that can think through things. So I'm just grateful for the staff we do have because they work hard and they're really good. And that's why I really try to focus on taking care of my staff. Like that's one of my biggest prayers, is that I'm able to create a source of income for my staff that literally can help them like take care of their life. Like I want to see them buying houses. I want to see them taking care of their family, growing their family, and not feeling that burden of that financial burden of like my job don't pay me enough. So when you like book us, know that our heart posture is to take care of people. So it's like this internal thing where it's like my staff is there when me and Josh just came back from Hawaii. We don't take vacation. Like we're constantly working, okay? So this how bad we are that we don't take vacation. We literally went to Hawaii to stay like just a few days. I changed our flight 3 times. We did not want to leave, but our staff held it down for us. Like they were back here dropping off, doing things that they were supposed to do. And it was just like showing me how when you're good to people, they'll be good to you. So that's really important to me, to offer them just, a good life of what I can give them. I can't give you the great life just based off everything, but there's an aspect of working a job. I can create an environment to you where the morale is high, where I'm talking to you with respect and, I'm paying you for your work. I'm giving you PTO, sick leave, things like that. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think that's great because, and that's something that a lot of people fail to do is take care of their people, right?
Oh, yeah.
And things like that. And because when you have a good heart like you and Josh do, I can tell, man. You guys pray.
Yeah.
You guys heavily in the church and things like that. So that comes out, that exudes in everything that you guys do with your multiple businesses, with your different streams of income, and revenue and things like that. So like you was talking about before, and we're going to kind of shift backwards a little bit. What do you see the industry going to now, or what do you foresee? Like, have you and Josh talked about it? Have y'all seen anything that they might be doing on the East Coast or West Coast or in Europe or whatever that we're not doing here in St. Louis?
I think it goes back. So basically, what's trending?
Yes, what's trending?
Yeah.
There we go.
From an event standpoint, I think the trend, and I could say this from just the clients I've had that come to us, the trend and what I see is guest experience. Like it's a focus on having this over-the-top wedding, because that's mainly what we do. So we do kind of any event, but our main focus and target is weddings because that's what we've done from the beginning. And so I just had a client, her wedding was in February, and she went all out on decor. Like, biggest client, went all out. But she also went out on guest experience. And so she had ballerinas, she had a band, she had DJs, she had Chinese food, late night snack Chinese food. She had a magician. She had, it was like
that's a lot.
And I'm not even telling it all. She had like a s'more. It was off the chain. It was thoughtful. And I think that's what people, they don't want to just go to a beautiful event and it's boring.
Yeah,
it's like you spend all this money and the people leave. And so I think people are now thinking about guest experience more, about how their guests feel, how they experience their events. I'm seeing that a lot. The branding behind the events, like the logo, it's just a lot more thoughtfulness in creating an experience for the wedding, more so than just focusing on the decor of how it looks. It's how does it feel? That's all the special effects. You're seeing more people, I want the sparks and clouds. I want it because it's an experience, you know? So yeah, that's where that's what I see.
And experience does take it to a whole nother level.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And that's why, when you talk about booths, the DJ booths and stuff like that. So that's why it does irritate me when I just see a DJ with a table
with no tablecloth and
no tablecloth,
no covering, all the wires showing. Come on,
it's like we're not in the 1900s. And I was born in the 1900s. But we're not in the 1900s anymore. Like, oh my goodness.
And I don't even think that was acceptable then. It's like people just It's definitely a, how do I say this in a nice way? Okay, that's one thing about me too. I'm a direct communicator. So that's why I have to think about the way I say things to not offend, because I don't mean them in an offensive way. I just don't know how to talk.
Yeah.
I don't know how to beat around the bush. But it's lazy.
Oh, facts.
Yeah, I think it's lazy. I think people, they're just lazy.
I've gotten on one of my DJs about that, right?
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, first I bought him the fitted tablecloth and the table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, don't you ever go with that 8-foot table in your life.
Right.
Don't go with that. We don't have enough equipment for an 8-foot table.
Right.
So what we doing with the rest of this real estate? Nothing. It just looks weird.
Taking up space.
It looks weird, right?
Yeah.
So that's for two. So here's a 6-foot table. Here's that, right? Then I bought the black facade, the all black.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so did you use it? No, I didn't. Why? And why? Don't, like, I want all of us in the industry to just stop being lazy.
Yeah. And you can't demand top dollar if you're not going to give top experience or top service. And I feel like you're not owed that because you didn't do anything to deserve it. And so it's like, I really wish in our industry that people would just take more time to focus on giving better service. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it gives the client better experience and it makes you feel good, you know, as a vendor.
I agree. So what do you see that you want to do next? What did you and Josh want to do next?
Well, I can't reveal everything.
Okay. No, don't tell us everything. Don't tell us everything. I feel you.
Yeah. So we do know that there's a shift occurring in our life. Just some different things that me and Josh want to work on that we want to just dedicate our life, the other half of our life to. Okay. So we are kind of preparing for that shift. And so, but we just basically want to keep offering a great service. We want our staff to basically take the reins more and just be more independent. So we're training our staff, we're pouring into our staff. We are searching for good people that want to work for a bomb company that, you know, does fun work, you know. And so we're just kind of focused on that right now. Like that's our focus.
I love that. How do you find your people that, because it sounds like they work hard for you. So like, how do you find those people that want to work, you know what I'm saying, for the Goldens?
So one, we've had some people for years. One person that has been with us for like years is my niece. Okay. And she does some of the flowers. Like, I'm training her to do flowers, to kind of take that department over. And so she's worked with us for a very long time. People don't really know that she's my niece, because I treat her, when we're at work, I treat her like, you know, you a staff person.
Like staff, regular employee, right?
Yeah, I give her that respect because this is a job, you know. And so I think too, that's a very sensitive topic that I've talked to people and mentored people about hiring family. It could be good and bad, you know. And it's just like, because I've had the bad and I've had the great, the good. So you just gotta figure that out. But other people is people that we've known through relationship at times, like people that have been referred to us, like that. We kind of hire people on trial basis to see how they work. We'll start them off on like a weekend and see how they go, and then it's like, if they're good, we're gonna keep bringing them back. So that's kind of how we hire. Yeah.
You know, I want to hire family that I don't know.
Distant cousins.
Those people. You know that's your cousin? Really? I didn't know that. Do you need a job?
Right.
Does she need a job?
Right.
For real. Because I don't know her. You don't know me. We have no true ties.
Exactly.
Like, where you feel like I'm like doing you a favor and vice versa, whatever case. Like, nah, I want to treat you just like a regular person.
Exactly.
But to the family, like, oh, he hired within. I don't know this person for real.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So no, I think that's great. And then so with the decor business, right? How more luxury do you think it can get? That you want to experience that you haven't had a chance to let me put it that way. What is something that you want to do, like it's a bucket list for you to do? You're like, oh my goodness, if I do this, I'm sitting on cloud nine right now.
I think for me, I would say destination. I have not gotten people have reached out to us, but I just have not taken the time to think about how that like logistically works. So I think that would be like, I see this stuff in Italy and, that's like, I'm like, oh, I would love, but I just don't know if that is like, if that's more like just planner aspect of it and not like decor.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. But that's something that I feel like is luxurious to definitely be, in Hawaii or some island and you got the mountains behind you and flowers and it's just people doing it.
It's something that I think I know you can achieve. I shouldn't say think. I know you can achieve. It's just relationships, right?
Yeah,
the same
totally.
Relationships that you create here, you have to create those relationships where what flower person you can use, where you can get some chairs from and blah blah blah, and then you just have to put that experience all together with these different relationships that you have in Hawaii, that you have in Italy and stuff like that. So it might take some sacrifice for you guys
if we want to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
To be honest, like, could be all a dream.
Just get one, do one.
Right.
Try to figure out how to do one.
Yeah.
Maybe if your destination is just driving to, because what's the furthest that you guys drove? Because I know you said Kansas City. Is that the furthest so far?
Trying to think. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I would say drive to.
I think Cincinnati, maybe.
Cincinnati, okay.
Yeah, but basically, yeah.
Like Vegas or Miami or something where you just have to, it's going to be some days, or I don't know. It depends on how long that takes.
You know what?
Take the truck.
And I'm just like so realistic that I feel like that market is so amazing there. I mean, you got some amazing people. I'm like, you gonna drive me all the way up there? And you got these amazing people, like, but who knows?
You got to start from somewhere.
Yeah,
right.
You do.
I'd say the same things, and sometimes maybe it is the experience that you're giving off that some others might be lacking. You might just be looking at the outcome.
Yeah.
But they might just put it together and treated their clients like blah.
I always think like before, because we want to expand into other cities, but I'm like, before I do that, I always want to conquer the city that I'm in, because people in St. Louis still don't even know us.
Right.
They be like, I didn't even know you existed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we've been doing this, for years. But so I still want to get exposure. I feel like we're not fully exposed in our city.
So why is that?
I think, good question. I don't know. I think it's just reach. It's just marketing reach. Okay. It's just like because we don't pay for the paid advertising, we've been just floating with free. Free has a limit. So I think that, it's just reach. It's just reach for us. We do social media, but we're not social media experts. We're not like going viral on every reel and things like that. So you need that reach.
So what do you think? Have you thought about hiring somebody for that aspect? And because I know it's difficult.
It is.
Personally, I'll say it personally.
It is, but where we are right now, the phase and stage that we're in right now is building our team.
Okay.
Because we have more business than we have staff. So we don't want to we're turning away clients. If our day gets booked and we're like, we just cannot do this, we have to turn people away. I don't want to turn people away.
Yeah.
So I want to get to the point where we have enough team, enough trucks, enough inventory where we're not having to turn people away. So I think that's the reason we haven't really went into the paid marketing, because we're already over.
You already,
yeah.
You're over exhausting yourself at this point.
Yeah.
Because you got to take those vacations. I didn't realize I didn't take one. I didn't take one at all last year.
Wow.
Then I took my Antigua this year, and I'm because you just move.
Yeah.
You just keep moving and moving and moving, and like I didn't go anywhere.
And time is moving fast, so
for sure. And so venue 827, I love it. Right,
thanks.
I love it because have you thought about expanding? When I was like expanding, like maybe getting another space or something like that, or was that part of what you and Josh already been praying about? I'm stepping on your toes.
No, it's okay. So basically from 21, 22, and 23, Josh and I opened new businesses each year. That was a lot. Like if you understand like what that feels like, that's a lot. So for us, we were like 24, we're not opening a new business. 25, we're not opening a new business. We're not expanding our business. We're not opening a new business because it's like that's a lot every year to do something new. And then when we opened, they exploded. So it was like almost like the market was just waiting on us because when we opened Cheerlux, we just exploded. And then we opened Venue 827 the next year, exploded. So then it's like, that's what I'm saying. We got too much business. We got not too much business. We got a lot of business, more than we had time to really get our staff in position to kind of help us. So, I mean, we're entrepreneurs. So I think as an entrepreneur, you're always open to what's next, or if an opportunity presents itself, you'll jump on it. So we're not opposed, but you know, it's just like we just want to make sure that's the proper direction.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Yeah,
because I want to continue seeing you guys succeed, and I just want a bigger space for y'all.
Oh, thank you.
Me personally, I want a bigger space with no neighbors.
Oh my gosh, no, you didn't.
If you put it this way, people, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. We're not gonna get into it today. This is offline topic that we have discussed, just to let y'all know. It's not for your ears to hear.
But I wouldn't do that again. You know, that was like a one and done. No, I'm not opening an event space with neighbors. Like, oh my goodness.
How long you guys got?
Bless our heart.
How long you guys got?
Many,
Can you tell
years.
me? Really?
Mm-hmm. But this gonna work out. When that's gonna work out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna work out.
I know. So you praying over it?
Yeah.
All right, God, got you.
It's crazy.
Because
it's gonna work out.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Yeah.
So what's some advice that you would give to couples that want to have decor, right? But they're not sure if they should go, what type of decor? Should they go luxury? Because that's the word, that's the term for today, right?
Yeah.
You know, what's some advice that you would give them if they want to go that route?
I mean, you're saying if they're budget or
maybe budget wise,
So because we've been doing this for a long time, we understand that a lot of clients that come to us, this is their first wedding, so they're not really sure on pricing and what stuff costs. People have very unrealistic budgets. So what Josh and I did was we created packages. We saw that packages work really well with indecisive clients. You could still customize things with us. Yeah. And we do have clients who have large budgets. They understand their budget and they don't mind spending the money. And we do more custom things for them. But with clients who want the look, but they don't have the money and they don't have the understanding of what things cost, we always start them with a package.
Okay.
And so that's always just easier to just say, hey, this is the base package. You get this beautiful event and you can add on to it if you want. Yeah. But we do consultations. We have a showroom in Earth City where we bring the client in. Amanda and Josh do the consultations. I don't work with clients. That's just not what I should focus on. It's not me. It's not.
That's not your part.
It's not my part at all. And so Amanda is amazing. Josh is amazing. They basically they handle the clients very well. And I focus on the design, the decor, flowers,
Yeah, you just go from there.
staff, boss them around.
Not bossing around.
Yeah.
You don't boss nobody around.
Let them tell it.
I don't even see it. She ain't bossing nobody around. Don't let her fool you.
You don't know my mode. When it's like crunch time, it's like Lexi come out.
Not Lexi come out is wild. We don't want to see Lexi.
Right.
We don't want to see Lexi in these streets.
Right.
We don't want to see Lexi in these streets. So even with that being said, what are some tips that you would give somebody who's starting off in the decor world?
Oh yeah.
To how to get to that point.
Yeah. So one thing that I appreciate about Josh and I is that we've never lost ourselves. Like we've always stayed true to who we are, and despite the changes of industry or the changes of budgets and markets that we go in, because the luxury market is totally different and it's not a lot of representation there. So I mean, that's one thing that was, I don't want to say a culture shock for us, but it was something that we had to kind of understand and say, okay, I need to learn how this is done, because this is not what I'm used to doing, and I want to make sure that I'm not just offending people. And you know what I'm saying? I want to give a good service, and I want to understand culture. So I would definitely say, but we stay true to who we are. We stay in our lane. We stay true to who we are. So while I yet believe in community, I do believe individuality is way important. And so I think that, one, you don't want to lose who you are. Find out who you are. If you don't know who you are, like find out what your, we're glam. Like the way we do flowers and decor, it's over the top, right?
Yeah.
So we can do a minimalist look. We could do that, but that's not really our passion. And so that's why when you go to our Instagram or you go to our website, you're going to see over the top. And that's what type of clients come to us. So, but the community is important, because I may have any event decorator or designer who is a minimalist. They specialize in minimal things. And so it's like I can send them to them. You know what I'm saying? That's that whole importance of community. But I feel like starting out, one, just know who you are, be true to who you are. I would definitely say understand your money, understand your profit, because you want to price for profit. You want to price for the lifestyle that you want. You want to make sure that you are pricing for the market, because a lot of people go to these workshops and they're like, oh, you can make, and these are people just starting out, telling people you can make $50,000 a wedding, and you go out here charging $50,000 and you're like, I'm not getting any bookings. It's like, right, your market, your product, one, is not there. And two, your market that's not what's receptive in the market.
For sure.
And so our average client, you know what I'm saying, can be anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000, average. We get clients way higher than that, but we understand our market. That's why we have things like packages. We offer like 3 different packages. We have an essential package. We have a luxe package. We have an elite package. And then we have customization. If your budget is $50,000, $60,000, we have packages, like customized things we can do for you. So I think it's that. I think it's understanding your market and pricing accordingly.
Yes.
And then I just think it's just, of course, prayer. I mean, I'm all about
all
that.
Day.
That's like foundation.
Without that, it's nothing. What
God,
are we doing?
What are you doing?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
All day. So I just think that, you just stay true to who you are. I think a lot of people, they see other people's success, so they try to do their business.
Trying to mimic them,
just like they mimic them. They like I've seen people do it to me, and I'm like, that's a pet peeve of mine, honestly. I want people to be themselves.
Come on.
I want people to embrace because that's what makes the world creative. Like, if every DJ is like you, that's no fun.
Nah,
it's like you stand out in the crowd, which is great because you're true to who you are. You're true to it, even to the point of fashion. Like, DJ's not dressing like you. You come out with the bow tie untied. You like rocking on the mic. I mean, the suit. I mean, it's just amazing to see. But it's like, it's appreciated and valued because you stay true to yourself no matter what. And I think a lot of people see success on people's life and they try to be like them.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like God created you like you for a reason, and we need you to be you and not to be me.
Whatever that is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like, be who you are and be true to that. And
For sure.
I think the market will receive you very well.
I love it. I love it. And that's why in the biggest part about when you talk about luxury brands, you're talking about your branding and things like that. Look, I'm good for a good party, right? But when you get that high, you're talking about less people tearing up your stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Because people's like, I know how much this stuff pay. I know how much I paid for this wedding as a client.
Yeah.
I wish I would tear up my
crazy.
stuff. But have you seen that? Have anybody like you was like, what happened here?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, of course. I think you grow because at first it was like shell shock. It was like, hold on. What happened? This is not how I brought this stuff here. Like, this is not how I set this up. Like, what is happening? I've literally seen people dancing on my chairs, like dancing. Yeah. It gets wild. It gets crazy. But as we've kind of grown in the business, we're used to it. We expect it. Like, I remember it was like, I remember one time we was like gonna take a client's deposit because like somebody threw up in the napkin or something. And it was like, we want to take their whole deposit. We were just so offended. And it was just like, that was because we were newbies. Yeah. And so after a while, not that I want you to throw up in my napkins, but it's just like after a while, we understand these are events.
I already budgeted for that.
I understand that. Yeah. Like, right. Like these things happen, like tablecloths being burned or, it's just like these things are a part of doing events. Yes. And so we understand it. But yeah, things get wild and crazy. And it's not always the client. You can have really good bride and groom, and it's their family. It's their friends.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's not usually the couple. It's usually the guest.
It's like I wasn't expecting it.
It's usually the guest. It's usually the guest.
Yeah.
So look, we haven't even touched on 827 too much. We got to do a whole nother one.
Yeah, definitely.
Where I come in and we take a look at what 827 for everybody who doesn't know what venue 827 is. So with that being said, please tell everyone how can they find you and Josh at the end of the day.
I don't want you to find me and Josh.
Okay, how can you find the brand? How can you find the branding of you and Josh?
People do that, and I said I'm gonna have to put out a stat because people will message me and stuff, and I'm always like, call the office, like go to the website. But yes, you can find us at chairluxe.com, and that's CHAIRLUXE.com. Our phone number is 314-827-3836. Our Instagram is cheer.lux. You can find us there. You can email us. We have a website where it's 24/7. So if you have rentals you want, you can put it into the cart and send it over to us. You can send us a form submission. You can book a tour, a consultation straight from our website. And then if you call us, you're going to get Amanda, and she's top tier. Yeah, so she can help you. She's top tier. Like Amanda is top tier. Yeah. She's amazing.
She was trying to charge me the other day. I was like, look here, Amanda.
Pay her.
She was trying to charge me. She was like, you still here?
Yeah. No, that's Natoshia.
That's Natoshia.
Natoshia's top tier, baby. Natoshia is.
Natoshia. I don't know why I said Amanda. I was thinking.
No, Amanda is top tier.
So Amanda. So it's funny because I know Amanda and Natoshia from different aspects. So but that's Natoshia was trying to charge me.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, go on.
But no, you're good.
No. But. So the website, of course, the phone number and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, that's for Trilux. Like, so if you're interested in Venue 827, you just call there and it's venue827.com. That phone number is 636-200-3703. And that is venue.827 on Instagram.
Love it. Yeah. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Lexi, for coming in and having a good time with Beats and Vows.
This is great.
Right here on Beat District Radio. So I really appreciate what you and Josh are doing out here for the community, for the industry and everything. So, and I'm glad that you guys are keeping God first at the end of the day.
Yes.
right? And that's how your success is going to continue. I already know this, so that's without being said. So thank y'all for tuning in once again to Beat District Radio and Beats and Vows. And once again, thank you to Lexi for blessing us with everything that she has to offer and her advice and everything for the community. So between time, remember, music is life, life is music. It's your boy DJ Phat Mack. We out.